BeamNG's 0.35 update is here, and the Hirochi Sunburst has been completely remastered. This is your roundup of all the new features. So 11 years after the Sunburst was first added to BeamNG, the car has finally got some love with a huge remaster. We still have the sedan variant, but now we have a WAGON 2, and it looks great. I think it even looks better than the sedan. The whole model has been completely remade. It's much higher quality, and especially the interior has received a lot of love. Look at the quality of the textures and the modeling in here. Look at these gauges, they're so crystal clear. The other big change is under the hood, because now the Sunburst is powered only by flat 4 engines. This is the base model, the 1.6, and listen to the new engine sound. That new sound is unique to the Sunburst. You can see we're in a new area of West Coast USA because there's so much more besides the Sunburst in this update. And I'll be showing the new parts of the map a bit later in the video. On the surface, the Sunburst does feel quite similar to how it did before, but under the skin, this car is brand new. And while this car most closely resembles the 3rd generation Subaru Impreza, at the back, I'd say it resembles more the 2nd generation WAGON. So let's test the brand new crash model. At the front, yep, it's very high quality, as we'd expect from any BeamNG vehicle. Now we're going to do a crash test in reverse to test the WAGON's crash model. Unfortunately, with this CVT model, they have now added a reverse speed limiter. Before, you could just go any speed you wanted in reverse. It was kind of crazy. There was no limit. 35 miles per hour, slow motion. Ooh, yep. That is also really good. The new Sunburst has 39 configs. That's 13 more than it did before. We've got everything from race cars to rally cars, police cars, and of course the normal road variants. This config is called the Comfort. It's a more luxurious Sunburst. Now inside we do have some interactivity, but let me show you this. This is the first BeamNG vehicle to have a fuel filler flap door. Unfortunately, it can't be opened, but hopefully we can interact with this kind of stuff on all the vehicles in the future. Inside is definitely more luxurious. We've got some kind of teak or mahogany wood look effect, kind of weird, and then a big GPS screen. This is an early 2010s car. You can push the hazard warning lights, and down here you can change the ESC mode. Now this car doesn't have a drift mode anymore, but there's a good reason it doesn't have that. Depending on which variant it is, the 2-litre has about 160 horsepower. Unfortunately, CVT, even with an all-wheel drive, this car is not that fun to drive. I just prefer the double clutch or the manual transmission. It is quick though, look. There's 100 into this. Oh, that is a big wreck. And yes, this car does have one of the best crash models we've ever seen. These configs are the 2.5 Sport RS, and this is basically the Impreza WRX counterpart. 2.5 litre flat 4. It's been turbocharged, and look at where the intercooler is. I love the look of that. Of course, that engine does sound very meaty. And we've got the interior to match. I love the way this has been transformed. We've got red stitching all around, bucket seats. Look at the stitching on the steering wheel. And also we've got flappy paddles. Oh yeah. So remember how I said there's no drift mode anymore? Well, it doesn't matter because now we have a central diff lock. So we can lock that to manual 100% to make sure all the wheels go at the same speed all the time. So what impact does that have on drifting? Well, whoa, it is still quite drifty. Even this model, though, doesn't have quite enough power to really get the drifts flying, but you can lock the diff in like 50%, 0%, it even has an auto mode. Whoa, it is possible to drift it. Oh, but you might want to use this model, the RS Aero. It's a special edition which ups the power from 270 to 290. So into the corner, push the handbrake, and yes, that is a lot better at drifting. And the flat 4 engine sound has been simulated so well. I mean, this is clearly inspired by the Subaru, but that's no bad thing. Subarus sound great with those flat 4 engines. And this thing is really quick. The Sunburst is much less understeery than it was before. In fact, I'm going to put it into auto diff lock mode, and let's see if we can power out of the corner, if it'll sort out the handling for us. Whoa. Yeah. Pretty good. No drama, no wheel spin. So the Sunburst now has 4 police variants. We've got the Police Interceptor, we've got the Italian police, who have the WAGON, the Gendarmes, who are the French police, and then the generic American police car. Inside, you've got the typical police equipment, but we can now interact with the sirens. Down here, you can actually change the different light modes. That's the scene mode. What does that mean? Okay, it kind of flashes when you've arrived at the scene. There's more controls here. What's that one? Right signal. So now we're signaling to the right. I love the new controls. And we just turn off the siren like that. Brilliant. Welcome to the new drift track at the West Coast USA Raceway. It's a series of curves that will let you test any drift vehicle to the limit, and it's situated literally right next to the paddock. We've got 2 drift variants. The Street Drift is kind of like a homemade drift car, and the Pro Drift, which is, well, for professionals. Right, Street Drift has 219 horsepower. Let's see if we can get it to drift properly around here. Whoa, that steering angle's crazy. That kind of caught me off guard. Now, this is my first time driving around here. I don't really know the layout. What I'm going to try and do is drift in a circle around this gazebo. Oh, nearly. Yeah, this car feels pretty good. Despite having 220 horsepower, we are drifting like a car with much more horsepower. Whoa! But it's going to be no match for the Pro Drift. I mean, look at the interior here. Everything has been stripped out. We've got a roll cage and 488 horsepower. Oh my goodness. And we've got nitrous. Well, listen to it. It's got like a fart can exhaust. Okay, second gear. Oh my. I mean, it's almost impossible to lose control by the looks. The steering angle is even more crazy. Let's go down the bottom end. I think that's the fastest drift corner on the track. Here we go. Third gear. Whoa. Oh, yes. No! Lost it. But I'm going to have a lot of fun coming here in the future to test any drift car that's added to BeamNG for a mod or in the vanilla game. It's the perfect place to test all your drifting machines. Then we've got the street tuned and the Atasha config. These are highly customized tuned models, and we've got an anime on the side of the Atasha, of course. The street tuned has about 400 horsepower. The Atasha has 325. They both have nitrous. Right, how fast are these things? Let's go. Whoa, great start. Feels like it's got all-wheel drive. Through this tunnel. This is a really cool tunnel on the map now. Over torque risk. That's not good. Oh, brake. Not quite good enough brakes. How about the Atasha? It's got a more sensible 325 horsepower. Oh, it's an automatic. Go. Or double clutch transmission. Now, what's really cool is that the Sunburst and most of the other vehicles in BeamNG do now have the dynamic lights that were added in the last update. Handling-wise, this car is pretty good. You know, the WAGON is not that much heavier than the sedan. It's only about 50 to 100 kilos more. Oh no, over torque risk again, but whoa, I think it's worth it for that amazing power. Whoa, the car is blue on the underside. Look at that! The Sunburst has a custom off-road variant and 4 different rally cars that are tuned for different environments, like asphalt and gravel. Here's the off-road variant. It's been strengthened up. It almost looks like a derby car with the livery on here, and that's great because the derby arena on the West Coast USA map has been remade. We've got spotlights all around the track, a more well-defined layout on the track, and also some stands over here. We've got a spare wheel at the back. I love it. And this thing is pretty good at off-road drifting. Those tires are very, very good off-road. Also, the dirt racetrack has been improved. We've now got a proper start area. I think it's even tarmacked or concreted over here to make it easier for your car to start. And we've got some stands and more objects around the track. This is one of the rally cars, and look at the lights on the front. They're brilliant. I love this livery. It's incredibly colorful, and there's a very nice little Easter egg here. The driver is called S. Ashimi or Sashimi. sashimi, and I guess you might know that's a type of Japanese food. There's another one on the right, which I think is meant to be onigiri, which is another type of Japanese food. So this car has a sequential gearbox. I love the fuse box down here. Look at that. And this thing is pretty fast, but what's it like in the corners? So 330 horsepower, and it uses those horses very well. A lot of bangs and pops coming from the exhaust. We now have a new anti-lag system for all the rally cars in the game, at least the turbocharged rally cars, and that really does work well, but it produces that backfire effect. So now we're at the racetrack with the 2 race variants. We've got the track day, which has 368 horsepower, and it does let you lock or change the central diff. Then there's the time attack variant with a very interesting front splitter, and in fact it's a double splitter. Look at the side there. This thing has 604 horsepower. I think it's the most powerful Sunburst you can get. So let's try the track day variant. Good start. I'm going to put it into auto mode, I think, on the central diff lock. Very good brakes. First corner, it's incredibly grippy. Now, the racetrack has been slightly modified. We've not just got new stuff around it, we've got better corners to make it easier for you to drive around. I think basically the BeamNG devs kind of accepted that the track was a little bit too difficult in some places. So let's see if we can find any differences. That exhaust, though. That sounds great. I mean, yeah, it really does sound like those super impressive race cars and rally cars. Come to this corner and brake. Oh, I braked way too late. No, just about recovered there. Oh, drifting around the corner. Okay, it's time for the corkscrew corner. I hope they haven't changed that. Yeah, it might just be my imagination, but it feels a little bit wider around here. I don't know, maybe. And, oh, this looks different. Slightly different. Oh, we got trees. Whoa. Not bad, not bad. Kind of lost control at the end there, but let's see what the time attack is like. Okay, 600 horsepower, let's go. Whoa, a lot of wheel spin, but it does grip really well. Very short gears down low. That was, to be expected for these time attack cars. They're often used on things like hill climbs. Drifting, but oh, it's so grippy though. On the long straight, we are limited to 6 gears and 140 horsepower. There's the anti-lag system, just spitting fire right now. Up to the corner, good brake. Second gear, turn in. It's quite understeery. Then you can power up. We went onto 2 wheels there. It's almost too grippy for the corkscrew corner. So yeah, this is really the pinnacle of the remastered Sunburst. And you can customize and tune this car so much now. So what else is new in the BeamNG 0.35 update? Well, all those new rally parts for the Hirochi Sunburst have been carried over to improve other cars rally variants. So we've got new and improved variants for the Chery FCV, the Ibishu Covet. I really like this new rally config. The Pessima Mark 1, the I-Series, also an amazing livery on this new config. The SBR4, that is a smooth looking rally car, and the Ibishu BX. And just listen to the new exhaust and engine sound of this rally variant. Wow, such a low grumble. And you can see, look at the mud flaps, the red mud flaps on here. These configs are so well made. It's rear-wheel drive. Oh my goodness. The Bruckle Moonhawk Detective Special has been updated. We've got a new siren thingy and also the controls on the inside. The Dune Kicker has a new livery. It's called the Blaster livery. It's white and this kind of metallic blue. It's really shiny. Some new police cars have joined the ETK 800. We've got 4 new liveries. We've got the generic American police car. We've got the Polizia, the Italian police, the Carabinieri. I think that's also the Italian police, and the Belasco City police car. And I guess you will see this in traffic. The Blue Buck police car now has the option of a dual light bar on the roof, and also we have a new revised interior that is much higher quality. There's a new alternate livery for the H series ambulance, complete with these kind of pulse rates on the side. That's kind of morbid, but I like it. The Ibishu Hopper now has a revised interior. It's a little bit nicer, a little less dark, and the Hopper and the Sunburst are trialing a brand new tow hitch. Now you can actually customize this. It's called the Receiver receiver hitch, and you can change what kind of attachment it has. So we can bring it up to a 4-inch riser ball hitch. So this will let you haul lots of different stuff at different heights behind the car. The West Coast USA map has been improved considerably. In fact, about a third of the road layout has been changed in some way. You can see on the screen a little mini map that shows exactly what's been changed. All the roads highlighted in orange are either new or have been altered. The biggest changes are around the racetrack. We've got a brand new entrance area to the racetrack with an underpass that takes you into the motorsports park. If you follow the road round past the car parks, you can turn left to where we started in the video, and this is a brand new parking area and stands for people to watch the race. There's also a new back entrance to the racetrack. You can go underneath the track through this tunnel and then up into a brand new seating area and a seating area for the racetrack. This bit is also complete with a massive car park, and actually this thing reminds me of that arena in GTA 5. What do you think? You've already seen the new dirt arena and the new dirt racetrack start area, but the drag strip has also been updated. We've got a new parking area, a place for the cars to line up ready for their race, some garages over here, and a very interesting garage here that I guess will be used in career mode. Now, if we go down the drag strip, there's something very interesting at the end. You can see there's lights down the center line of the drag strip. You don't want to hit those. And then we've got 4 lanes here because in future, BeamNG want to add, I think, 4 car drag races. We've got a new runoff area at the end, which is a sandbank, trying to slow the car down, but you can still power through it and run off the end in spectacular fashion. And this area is really cool. It says, look, caution, under construction. And it looks like other cars have already hit this fence. Really, really cool to see. Aside from that, the changes are minor. You might see different road markings and slightly widened roads, but in the Redwood Forest, we've got some new trails that go right through the center of the trees. I think they could do more with this in the future, like add some more things to do in the foresty areas of the map. But these roads are really cool. You can have a mini rally round here, and yeah, it just branches off in so many different directions. Hirochi Raceway has been updated with a new drag strip. This is called Hirochi Dragway. We've got some new access roads to take you to the drag strip, and yes, it is actually called the Dragway. Very big car parking area and a place for you to prepare your vehicle, and this fits quite nicely with the revamped drag mode. You can see we've got a new UI app at the top of the screen, and this is your staging lights. In fact, the staging process has been improved a lot. You don't have to line up your wheels exactly anymore. It's based on all 4 wheels of the car. So at pre-stage, go forward a little bit, there you go, and the lights are lighting up, and go. I left it a bit too late there, but it's okay, because now your opponent will have a randomly generated reaction time. Passing the line now, and it says stop the vehicle, so we're going to stop. This track also has a runoff area. We've got a new results screen. This is much easier to read. You can see your time slip here, you can see the results, and you can see all your different ratings from the track through all time. And yeah, BeamNG will support more than 2 races on a drag strip in the future. That's really cool to hear. Now, around the end here, you can loop back or use this kind of slope as a runoff to slow your car down, and then you can head back to the drag strip or come off here with the new access road. And yeah, it's been integrated really well with the racetrack. It just feels like it belongs here. BeamNG's new rally mode continues to be improved. So from the main menu, hit the rally button a few times and then click understood. And this mode really is a work in progress. There are 5 new rally stages that have been added in this update, but I have an early access version to the update. Thank you to the BeamNG devs for giving me early access. So these new tracks, these new rally stages may not be in your version of the game. It depends how the optimization goes during the development process in these last few days before release. So this is the Rockwood rally stage on Small Island, USA. This is very experimental, but watch what happens when I start the race.
The first note is 6 right short, over crest. Good luck.
Yep, we have audio pace notes. So, I'm going to try and listen to this guy. There's two different voices. Both of them are British English. And actually, he's pretty good at calling stuff out. Oh, that's... Okay, I'm not a very good driver, though. If you don't like that kind of intense voice, you can actually go into gameplay options and then change the co-driver voice to a relaxed one. So I think we're going to do that. Okay, off we go. Now, I really think that this rally mode makes BeamNG one of the best rally simulators we've ever seen. And imagine what's going to happen when people start modding tracks and stages into the rally mode. Now, what I didn't know is that the pace notes are actually generated by your GPS route. That is a really interesting system, and it seems like you could set up any rally stage and not have to manually, input the GPS pace notes. And I'm guessing you could mod your own voice in as the rally co-driver. Imagine me being in your ear. That would be really nice. And to cap it off, they've added some new static and normal BeamNG props like these chairs and furnitures and gazebos and fences to make the rally stages feel a bit more alive. BeamNG's career mode has also been updated. We've got a new pause screen which shows you your progress in a much more condensed format, and we've got this new careers paths screen. So basically, these are all the different things you can do in the game, and they're listed by categories. We've got APM, which I think is like just your racing stuff, and then BMRA, which is like the drifting and time trials, logistics and freestyle, like the mini games. There's also a new performance index system. So if you click assess performance, it is now assessing the performance, I guess, on the drag strip of this taxi. Whoa, look at that camera angle. It's like GTA 4. What's going on? So this new performance index system will eventually mean that you're ranked against evenly matched competitors in races and events in the career mode. It's taking into account factors like power, weight, acceleration, braking force, and this car has been given a class B, which is a performance index of 42. Let's see what happens when we upgrade it. There's a new My Parts screen as well. You can store stuff in your inventory, like parts from other vehicles in your inventory, and then have a look at all the parts that are fitted to the car here. So I'm going to give it a stage 2 turbocharger. Let's see how much that increases the performance index. Okay, now it says it's got 290 horsepower. That's definitely a lot more than it had before. Here we go. Off it goes. A lot of turbo lag. Over torque risk. Oh no. Oh, the engine blew up. Okay, heavy duty engine block installed. Let's try that again. Oh yeah, she flies now. Look at that. Oh, now we've got an A, 68 PI. So I guess it's like 0 to 100 on the performance index. And the 0 to 60 time is now 5.28. That's like less than half what it was before. Crazy. BeamNG's drift mode has also been improved. We've got 4 new drift zones on Italy, 2 in Utah, and 1 in the automation test track. But it's also had a revamped drifting system, which makes it much easier to catch drifts and score points. So for example, it recognizes when you hit a wall a bit better, and also you can now have up to a 25 times combo for the best drifts. I'm going to take it quite slow. We're on this kind of like pave, this cobbled street, which makes it a little bit difficult. Whoa, that's too fast. Oh no. Yeah, crashed, look. Yes, there you go. We're scoring points, kind of. Damn. Lost control, but I didn't stop scoring. Okay. Yeah, I really suck at that, but if you're good at drifting, you'll really love the new drifting system. And of course, we have the new points screen at the end, and it shows all your performance stats and your best ratings and a simplified results screen. Now, throughout the video, you might have noticed the orbit camera looks slightly different. That's this camera we're looking at right now. That's because it's been completely reworked, and now it's more dynamic and kind of moves and changes depending on the speed you're going. We've got some new settings here in the camera menu. You can basically remove all these settings to bring it back closer to what it was before as a static orbit camera. But now, as we go a little bit faster, you'll see the camera kind of change and get lower down behind the car. And this kind of mirrors what we've seen in some mods for BeamNG before, like chase camera mods, orbit camera mods, and it's also a lot more similar to other racing games like Need for Speed, and Forza. There's a new radial menu. So remember when you pressed escape, a radial menu used to come up. Well, now you have to press E or up on your Xbox controller D-pad. You've got things like vehicle actions where you can toggle the vehicle's features and cruise control, lights, whatever. And then you've got a dedicated traffic button here to launch the traffic. You can also do free roam actions like that. You've got your fun stuff in here, force field, boom, extinguish, whatever. You can control AI, there's other, and also it will learn your most recently chosen actions. So they'll come up first on this little radial menu here to make it easier to get to the things you want to use quicker. The old part selector or vehicle configuration menu has been removed. You can only use the new one in BeamNG now, and it's really quick and easy to use, much less buggy and much more simple to just search something up. Comes up instantly, there's no lag, it's just a perfect configuration menu now. In that menu, the horns and the sirens now all have names, so it's much easier to work out what the horn is before you select it. And it's exactly the same for the siren. We've got lots of different sirens. They're all named properly. You've got Fat Scanner. What is that? The map selection screen has also been changed. We've got a new line at the top, and this brings up your most recently used map and your most commonly used maps. Of course, for me, it's West Coast USA. And when you go into the maps, it's actually subdivided into your most recently used and most commonly used spawn points. I really like this. It'll definitely make it easy to get into your favorite spots in BeamNG maps. And of course, we've got all the typical updates that happen every single BeamNG update. The traffic has been greatly improved now. They're much more aware, much less likely to crash into you. Also, if you're not using Vulkan renderer now, it's definitely recommended by the BeamNG devs to start using it. It's never been more stable, and you should see a big performance improvement if you start using it. And finally, let's talk about the BeamNG launcher. There's a new menu in here. If you go to Manage User Folder and then Manage Old Versions and Backups, it analyzes all the files from old versions of BeamNG, and these do not get deleted when you update the game. So you need to make sure you know exactly what's in here. I'm going to delete my, I don't know, 0.33. There's 11 gigs of backup in there. Delete it. I've just saved 11 gigs on my hard drive. So that was BeamNG 0.35. Please let me know what your favorite part of the update is in the comments down below. And big thanks to the BeamNG devs for giving me early access. I'm really, really grateful. And of course, a big thank you to all of you, because without your support watching the channel, I wouldn't have got that early access to the game update. If you'd like to see some more BeamNG, click the video on screen right now. It's of the RLS career mode in the Italy map. It's a really cool career mode mod that shows us what is possible in BeamNG's career mode in the future. So thanks for watching. BeamNG 0.35 is here, and I'll see you soon for some more simulator adventures.